right, well, I'm at work and I got a little bit of time to talk about music. But first off, thanks for looking at the videos, and I appreciate all the support. And of course, playing at home to backing tracks versus playing in a band and playing out in public. Now, I like using backing tracks, and I use them to help me practice, and they're really valuable tool to help you with your playing. Now, back in the day, I used to make my own backing tracks on cassette. Some of you don't even know what a cassette is, but that's another way of recording your music. So I would make these backing tracks, I would record these chord progressions, and then I would play along to them. And that would help me, with my improvising and overall, creating solos and things like that. But nowadays, you have backing tracks that are, professionally done. They're produced with, all kinds of instrumentation, and they sound just like the the original recordings. Meaning you can get some tracks, based off of your favorite songs and whatnot. Okay, so it's good to play to these backing tracks, and it's good to use them to practice with, but ultimately you want to go out and play with the band, and you want to play and share your music with public, because believe me, there's a big difference when you're playing in your recording studio or your room or wherever you like to practice, because that's a controlled environment, right? When you get out somewhere in a different place, different location, your sound, to me, I notice my sound goes out the door, and then everything changes. It doesn't sound the same. I get stage fright. The other band members get stage fright, and we all kind of are struggling to get our composure. But we do, and we get through it, and we sound good. But that's the challenge of playing in front of people and having that, that feeling of, I don't know, stress, but it's a good stress. So, remember when you're practicing at home and you're working on your scales and you're working on your chords, which you should be doing because that's important. Because remember, 90% of the music is just rhythm and chords that you're going to be playing. I mean, it's very rare when you get to play a solo, unless your band is all instrumental, like Joe Satriani's type of situation. But most of the time, you're going to be playing rhythm, and you're going to have to, pick and choose your solos when you can. So when you're home practicing, the goal is to get out and make a band, join a band. Find other musicians that are. I used to find musicians that were as good as I was or better. A lot of times they were older musicians because I just wanted to play with better people, and it seemed like the musicians that I gravitated towards were a little older than I was, and they were just a little more experienced. And that was something I found helpful to make me improve as a musician. So you want to get out there and you want to find other musicians like yourself, and you want to network. That's something I regret doing earlier, is just making a band. I always was worried that I wasn't good enough, and I would put it off, and I would say, okay, I'm not ready yet to make a band, so let me just keep practicing and practicing. And then I did eventually make a band, but in hindsight, I was already ready to make a band. I already had enough skills to play rhythm, and I knew a couple of scales, pentatonic shapes, and things like that, and I had pretty good dexterity, and I could make a solo. Sure, I could at that time. And I should have just made a band, or I should just went out and started jamming with people, doing these open jam, you know, go somewhere and find those places and start meeting these other musicians and meeting bass players and meeting drummers and keyboard players and singers, and because that will help you to find other bands or other live playing situations. So, of course, you have to be ready, and you have to be, you have to have a certain level. I wouldn't suggest a beginner to go right away into looking for a band. You have to have a good foundation first, and then when you have that, you can go look for other people to play with. But you definitely want to go out, and you want to play, and you want to play live and in front of people, because that's the true testing ground. That's the hardest part right there. I mean, we all sound good in our rooms, and we all sound, like the next big thing. When you're out and you're in a place that you never played before, and people are watching you, and it's just a whole different ball game, and I think every musician should experience that, because it's just going to make you a better player. So keep practicing and do some networking. Don't stay in your room, and get off of those backing tracks for a little bit, just for a while, because I always go back to them. They're always helpful. And go find some other players that are at your level or a little bit better, and just start banging out some jams or working on some blues progressions, or just write a riff. Somebody come up with the riff and just take it from there, and just create magic. And that's the whole thing, is to create that magic and that chemistry. You'll find that chemistry with the right players, and when you do, you're lucky, and you should really focus on trying to do something with that. So again, thanks for looking at the videos. I appreciate that, and I hope to do some more performance videos, and I have a lot of things in store, a lot of things related to art, a lot of things related to the Halloween. I'm always a big fan of Halloween, and I'll have some do-it-yourself projects and stuff that I've discovered how to make these props and things like that. So that's it for now, and I'll see you later. Bye.